Yes, I released it.
Oh, I still can't hear you. Maybe now.
You can hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. אני אדבר לך בעברית?
No!
No, only English. So I already had a test with you on the phone. You remember me? In Corona time?
Yes.
And I want to sign for the...
Okay, I can. Hold on a minute, because we're also on, hold on 1 second, because we were also on, if you want to sign, you can just click on the Yoetz. There's a thing for Yoetz Chinuchi or Yoetz.
Yes, I see that.
If you just do that, that'll take you to right to them. Or
but I love to hear about the program. And
then you can hear about the program. That's great too. Let's see. Etty and Shelley are here. I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Etty.
Hi.
I don't see you, but I hear you.
You can hear me because my camera is off, so.
Yeah, I can't blame you. If I could, I'd turn my camera off too, but I can't.
No, I have a problem with it.
Oh, too bad. Okay, yeah. I would just like to lose 10 kilo before I turn my camera off. And that's
not it too, but that's not the problem.
Ronit?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Although my light is really bad, sorry about that.
You're a native speaker.
Yes, I am.
You from New York?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
Washington, D.C.
East Coast.
I'm East Coast, but Washington has a very unique accent, which is very hard to recognize.
Definitely has a different accent.
No, we're transient. DC is very transient. No one is really born in DC, and no one comes from DC except for people like me who are transient. I mean, my parents were Israelis. I lived there most of, so DC has a very unique accent.
Right. I live in Silver Spring.
You lived in, did you say Silver Spring? Did you say you lived, when did you live there?
I didn't live there. I have friends who live there.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like it's just the 4 of us so far, but I think I'll start. Are all of you interested in elementary?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in elementary. Yes.
Good.
I'm actually interested in junior high and high.
Okay, that actually, it won't make too much difference, the presentation, but the junior high and high school is at 11:30, but that's okay. We're you're welcome.
I like knowing more than knowing less.
Okay, perfect. Basically the junior high is just an extension of the elementary because you need to know everything. I'm going to flip on my PowerPoint and see if you can see it. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Can you all see it?
No.
Oh, I was afraid that would happen. Let's see. How about now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay, it works. Okay, so the English department of Levensky is part of what's called the Faculty of Multidisciplinary Studies. That takes care of all the disciplines like English and biology and whatever. I have to say, one of the things I am most happy about is that we have a great faculty. We have people who are not only extremely knowledgeable in their subject, but they're really nice, good people who are there to help. And I think that that's one thing that kind of differentiates us from other places. They're warm, they're inviting. We look at each of you as an individual and not just as a clump of students.
Good.
Yeah, so your degree gets actually divided into 3 different parts. You have the English department where all of our courses are in English. Everything in the English department is in English. If you come to speak to me in my office, you speak in English. If you ask questions in class, you speak in English. If you don't know a word in English, you say it in Hebrew. Even I do that sometimes. Sometimes I lose words in English. But that's 1/3 of the equation. Another third of the equation are your education courses. And I won't talk to you about those, but they are the sociology, psychology, philosophy, that sort of courses, history of education, things like that, that you need to do in order to be a certified teacher in Israel. And that comes under the Faculty of Education, as does your practice teaching, which also I have very little to do with, although we try to integrate everything that we do in the English department with your practice teaching, of course, so that you end up practicing what we tell you, how we tell you to teach. But your placement and all of that gets done in a different department, not in the English department. Let me go on for a minute. So, do you have a question? Does anybody have a question?
No.
No.
Okay, so what do we have? Oh, I just clicked that past the slide I wanted. Hold on. There we go. No, going the wrong way because I did something here. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. So we have a lot of different kinds of courses. We have pedagogical courses, and you will always know what the pedagogical courses are because the description will start with pedagogy of reading, pedagogy of speaking, pedagogy of writing, pedagogy of listening, pedagogy of literature. Those are the how do you teach this subject in the classroom? How do you take what we've taught you and go into the classroom and teach it? We also have foreign language acquisition courses. These kind of overlap with the skills courses to help you improve your English if you're not a native speaker. If you are a native speaker, you don't need to take the skills courses. We know that you probably don't know any grammar, like I didn't until I moved to Israel and couldn't tell you much about grammar.
Until I start teaching my son.
Exactly. But that's okay. You speak correctly for the most part. You speak like a native person speaks, which is never totally correctly. But that's okay. In the foreign language acquisition courses, we also have basic grammar, advanced grammar, and as one of the pedagogical courses, pedagogy of grammar, so that you not only improve your own grammar, but you know how to teach it, which are two very different things. We have literature courses as well as pedagogy of literature courses. Students always ask me why they need to take literature courses. Because especially in elementary school, why should they take a course on dystopia? But part of it is there are lots of different reasons to take literature courses. First of all, you are not just teaching a language, you're teaching a culture. And you should know what literature is part of that culture. That's the first thing. Also, just reading and making you read in English improves your English and helps you learn to express yourself in English better. Most of the literature courses that we teach also have some element of technology, video that goes with that, YouTube's, all sorts of stuff. There's a Shakespeare in Love course where you learn Shakespeare, but you do it mostly through movies. And you might read excerpts. We're not asking you to read War and Peace, which is over 400 pages, or something that we don't think you can handle.
Harry Potter is over 400 pages.
Yes, but you know, Harry Potter in English is not always so easy. It's very high level English.
Oh, I know. My 10-year-old has just read the whole series during the Corona in English.
Yeah, it's not always easy. but we want to choose things that you can't, it's difficult, but we would rather you choose things that you can't find in Hebrew so that you really do have to read them in English.
Of course.
We have theoretical courses, the history of English, courses that deal with foreign language acquisition. What is foreign language acquisition? Courses that deal with, let's see, what else is theoretical in the English department? We're actually more practical than theoretical. But translation courses, how to translate, history of English language, etymology, where words come from and how new words are made, and the whole history of creating language. Skills courses, like I said, which usually deal with how to listen better, how to speak, maybe if you have to present a paper, how to we have courses in academic writing, so that even if you've been out of the classroom for a while or you already have a degree or whatever, it's good to go back and learn how to write academically. Especially if you're an Israeli, because for some reason Israelis tend not to use too much punctuation and they like very long sentences. And we would rather they don't do the long sentences, and we use short sentences and we write concisely. And then we have some electives, and the electives, we have some that are more geared towards elementary, like using
Sorry, my dog.
okay, using music, using dance to learn English, using games, and some that are geared more towards high school, things that involve debate maybe, or going outside of project-based learning at a higher level. So those are some of the courses that we have. I'll show you the next slide because that will kind of, what we do is the approach is definitely spiral. We start with what we consider our basic courses, and through the 3 or 4 years that you're at Lewinski, you get to move up in complexity of courses. So if you started with pedagogy of beginning reading, which everybody needs to take, even if you're in junior high or high school, because you will still have non-readers that you need to learn how to contend with. You will have to at a later, you will get advanced pedagogy of reading or translation, learning how to translate, which isn't so easy. And what we do is it's a 3-year kind of spiraling, and certain courses change so that we have new courses every year that come in. And hopefully you'll get to taste most of them, or ones that you like. This is a slide of our beliefs in terms of what goes on in the English department. We believe in differentiated learning and teaching. We know that all of you who start, we don't lump you all together. And we don't want you to learn to lump your students, your pupils that you teach together. Some of you come with learning disabilities. Some of you come with more background knowledge. Some of you have degrees in education or background in education. And so we try to tailor our teaching to a wide variety. We may exempt you out of certain things. We may ask you to do more if we think, or help you to fill in gaps if you're lacking some knowledge or whatever. We model our instruction and learning because we want you to learn to model. Everything that we teach and however we teach is what we want you to take into the classroom. So we are good at accommodating each student according to his or her needs. We love to use games and interactive instruction. If you have kids at home during Corona, you've probably been exposed to some of the games and the Kahoot and the Quizlet and all sorts of Brain Pop and all sorts of other things that can be used to teach English. And in English, there are a million different online games as well as paper and pencil games that we use. We believe in second and third chances, which means you don't do so well on a course or you didn't do well on a paper. It's part of the learning curve. We'll give it back to you, we'll sit with you, we'll help you, we'll let you resubmit it. We're not here to fail anybody, we're here to help you. And this is what we would expect you to do with your pupils in your classroom. It's really easy just to say to a kid, you know, you failed, go home and learn, or go get a private tutor. And we don't want to see that happen. That's your job as the teacher, and we consider that our jobs as lecturers. That if you're having a difficult time, talk to us. Come in and talk to us, we'll help you, we'll sit with you if the material is too difficult. We like you to do things in groups to learn from each other, but not to let one person in the group do the work, of course, but to be collaborative, because that's the way that we would also like you to teach in your classroom. We believe in personal and nurturing relationships. We like to get to know our students. I'm horrible because I forget everybody's names, but I remember faces. So I forget my own children's names. It's nothing personal. So it's just a question of reminding me your name, but I will always recognize your face. And we like to champion our students. We like to think that, you know, they're here at Lewinski because they want to be at Lewinski. We put them out into teaching positions because we think that they will be excellent teachers. And we believe in learning for life, that you don't stop learning just because you got the degree, that you keep on learning and you keep going. I can tell you that even for me, I never stop learning. It's always part of who I am. Let's see, what are some of the good things about studying at Lewinski? First of all, there are only 3 days of study, which means 1 day of English department courses, 1 day of education courses, and 1 day of your practice teaching. And that's usually only until about 1:30 that you actually do your practice teaching. There is a 5-year program that includes starting with a bachelor's and going through to a master's degree. So you can get your bachelor's and master's in 5 years rather than doing a bachelor degree for 4 years and then waiting. Usually they make you wait or get experience before you do a master's. So there is a direct maslul. You see, I lose words in English. A direct track to getting a master's degree. And there is an excellence program for which I don't know much about. I just know that it only takes about 3 years to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the criteria for getting in there, but I know that you have to have a pretty high average on your psychometric. I'm not the right person to talk to about that. In short, we want our students to be knowledgeable and to enjoy their studies and to enjoy their teaching. We believe that happy students are happy teachers. And we don't, what?
I said exactly.
Yeah, and we don't think that you should go home at the end of the day of teaching, certainly of studying, but not of teaching, exhausted and frustrated. rating. We believe that we equip you with as many tools as we can in order to be successful teachers. That is the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing this right now. The PowerPoint aspect. Questions, comments, anything that I can help you with?
About the history program.
About which program?
History.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the high.
History.
It's too difficult. It's too difficult to learn that. I'm a little bit afraid of that.
Which history? You mean a course like in the history of English?
Yes.
Oh, if you're accepted, don't worry. None of this, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's not hours and hours of reading. It's not iyun in the sense of you can't handle it. We know our students work. We know our students also have families. It's not that we don't give you any material, but we give you material that we know you can handle. We give you material, we give you time as well. We know that, you know, it's not like in the United States where mostly if you're a student, you're a student. And you might have a part-time job, but it's a little different. We know that many of you have families, many of you work. It is not just your job to go to school. And so we pace out our studies so that, and what we give you to do, knowing that your time and investment is limited to a certain extent.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I hear you, and I'm more relaxed when I hear you, and I'm happy.
We're well aware of the difficulty, and especially now since everything has been online.
Yes, it's much more difficult.
It's much more difficult, and it's more difficult because even if you don't have children at home that you need to take care of, you can't sit in front of a computer for 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, or 3 days a week.
Yes.
To adapt to a new situation for all of us is also tiring.
Yes, for us, for me too.
Everybody,
we've always had online courses in English, always. Well, at least for the past 8-10 years. But we usually only recommend that we only let you take maybe 2 courses a semester that are online. And all of a sudden that went out the window, of course. But there's courses that are online that are synchronic, that you like now, like Zoom, you go in at 10 o'clock and you listen to the lecture or whatever. And I'll tell you something about that in a minute. And then there are courses that are not synchronous, in which case maybe I tape myself giving a lecture and I put it up on Moodle and you watch it, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning in your pajamas, and that's fine too. All of the research has basically said that if you're going to listen to a lecture that's synchronous, it shouldn't be more than anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes, because it's a lot to sit in front of a computer and just listen. Even in the classroom, you know, we know that students tune out, tune back in, daydream. It's different.
Half an hour to 45 minutes was discussed when my mother got a master's in education in 1982.
Yeah, 45 minutes is, and people have much less of an attention span now than they did 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, I think. So we're well aware of all of that. And most of us, I'm not going to say that this semester was a less knowledgeable semester, but in many ways we had to rearrange the material that we taught to make sure that everybody got the most important material first, and the less important material is left for maybe another course next year or whatever. Let me tell you just a little bit, a few minutes about.
Can I ask one question?
Of course.
The program that you just showed, is this the הסבה מקצועית?
This is the DOE program. The
Okay.
HASAVA program draws on a lot of the same courses. I
Okay.
take it, Ronit, that you have a degree already.
I have both a BA and a master's. I sent you all the paperwork
Right.
ready. I have a master's in urban planning from the Technion. I have a BA in psychology. And I don't know if you looked at it. I don't know if you saw it already.
I
They
haven't seen it, but they
Okay.
probably have seen it in the office. Yeah.
Okay, so I've sent you all of it. And I'm more interested in the top up program, and I'll talk to you about that.
We can talk about that.
We can reconvene in 10 minutes.
Absolutely, no problem. You can just stay on the line. So your practical work, if you're in a 4-year program, the first year the first semester you don't have practical work. The second semester you work with one student and you get to know that student and learn how to do a student profile and things like that. And then the second year you work with a group or maybe 2 groups at one time. And your third year you're working within groups within the class. We have to get away from the whole class does the same thing, because one of our principles is we believe in differentiation. And we know that in any given class, not all the pupils are at the same place. So we really strive, one of the courses that we teach is a course in how to differentiate education, how to differentiate. We don't have you do anything that we don't teach you how to do. So classroom management, discipline issues, how to differentiate. Those are courses that we teach so that you know how to do that within the classroom. Etty, your microphone is off. I hope that you can hear me. Do you have any?
Yes, I can. I wanted to ask you something, but I think you already answered, but
That's okay.
if I understood. I'm also interested in the HASAVA studies, and I tried to schedule myself a timetable through the website of last year's courses to see if it's possible, but I understand there's going to be new classes every year, so.
Say that again. You cut out for a few seconds, so I didn't get it.
I'm trying to see and schedule myself a timetable to see if it's
Okay.
possible. But I understand now that each year and every year there's going to be new classes. So
we have a core group of classes that repeats itself every year.
okay.
So some of the electives change from year to year, but for the most part, yeah. Are you worried about coming into the program and not getting all the courses you need? We won't let you do that.
That's funny. I'm trying to see if I can schedule all my classes to one day and do the practice on another day.
Well, practice would definitely be on another day. What's your degree in?
I have a BA in education and sociology and an MA in education.
You might be, I'm not going to promise anything. You would need to talk to Tali Cohen,
Yeah.
but you might be exempted out of all the education courses,
Okay.
in which case you would only need to come one day a week for the English courses
Mhm.
and one day of Avodah Masi, of your practicum. But
Okay.
like I said, I hate when they tape me because I'm saying this loud and clear. I'm not promising anything.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I'll say one thing. There is a one-year program called Top Me Up.
Okay.
I'll say a few words about it because we have exactly no time left. Top Me Up is a one-year program for people who already have a degree. It's intense. It's really, really intense.
Mhm.
It's one day of studying, but a lot of courses are also online.
Okay.
So it's really dachus, it's really intense and whatever, and one day of avodah masit, of practicum teaching. If you're interested in that, send me an email. I will put it, do you all see the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will type my email right here in the chat.
Is Tali Koren, is there? Can I talk to her?
Cohen, I know is at Levinsky now and online. I'm in my house.
Okay.
I don't go out. It's Corona time. But Tali Cohen, I know, is online, and I'm quite sure that you can get in touch with her some way. If you, yeah, you can talk to her. If you click on the Yoetz, whatever,
Okay.
yeah, it just ask to speak with Tali, and
Okay.
if they don't let you, at some point, you can get back to me.
Okay.
So just get back to me. You've got my, I can give you my phone number too. Last time I did this, I gave up my husband's phone number by mistake. There you
Oh,
go.
I've done that a million times.
That's horrible. It's horrible. So there's my phone number. And like I said, I'm a night owl. You can call me late at night. Don't worry about it. I'm always awake.
No, I'm not. I'm going to sleep at night.
All my professors always were nice people.
Yeah. So I think I have to stop this right now because I have another group. And
Okay.
I will talk to you guys later.
I'm staying on for the other group.
Thank you.
I'm going to end this and then I have to go into the other group again.
Oh, okay, so we have to like, okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Shalom.